This is our game Yield Dungeon Shopkeep. This is our goblin. This is our main character. He uses WASD for movement, and he can also use arrow keys, but WASD pairs better with the rest of our controls. So if you want to go up to this chest, it shows that there's Y sorting, so you can walk behind it. And if you press E on it, you'll claim all the items inside. If you press P with your right hand, you can attack enemies using a slap motion. We don't want weapons in our game as we want to keep it on the ESRB rating for E, and we don't want to incite violence in children. We want it to be more of an ambient slapping motion as they aren't really hurting each other as when they get into their quarrel. Our skeletons will track you, as you saw there, and if you get too close to our vampires, they will decide to try and get you. They're different vision ranges, which is pretty cool. These are our traps. They will shoot at you and do different amounts of damage depending on the traps that hits you. Um, so then we have different levels to our game here. There's all a bunch of about 17 rooms per floor, and there's 5 floors. So if you go to your second floor here, this will show you a bit of a harder challenge to our game. It's when the game starts getting hard as enemies have a lot more health and they typically attack faster. The vampires still have very short range of sight, so they won't see you. It's also when you'll see harder enemies such as that red vampire. Moving on to the shopkeeping part of our game, we have a built-in tutorial right beside it where it will give you a bunch of hints if you don't exactly know what you're doing. This video was doing basically the same thing, but in more depth here. Another note here, this is one of our NPCs. They are controlled by multiple buttons and they have different responses. Moving on to a different NPC over here. If you click that, he will give you that. And since he's one of the ones that buys from you, he said that there's nothing he could buy yet. So we're going to go up here to our chest, get a couple items, and then we are going to go down to our shop. The shop is guarded by this set of counter. So you click on it, click list for sale, and you can put it as 10 and just price them whatever you want. You got up to 5 items that you can put in a shop at one time. So we're gonna list all 3 of them for sale. And there is an auto buy feature, but to speed things up, because that takes a while, I'm just going to click on him with E and then click yes, and then hit buy until I've sold all the items that I have. Now, I want to get to 50 gold because at 50 gold, you can buy an upgrade in that skill tree. So I'm going to go back up to these chests, which have refreshed, get a couple items, go over to this other chest, get a couple more items, and then I'm going to quickly go sell these real quick. And so different items all have different prices. Some of them are more valuable than others, such as this healing potion is more valuable than the apple, and the apple is more valuable than the stone. So we're just going to go over here. He's going to say finally, we're going to sell them. We're going to go back into our other room here to our skill tree. We're going to open it. We're going to buy move it. This is going to give us a minor buff in speed. It's barely noticeable until the second upgrade, but it is definitely being applied. Welcome to the behind the scenes part of our code. This is our player, the goblin. These are all of his nodes. In Godot, they run it off of nodes. This is our player script. It has a lot of functions and variables. Functions are very similar to methods in Java. This is our player uses a state machine, and a state machine controls all of the different states, and the different states are really just an interface. It allows you to control idle, walking, attacking, as in it just basically is a bunch of different states, and it tells you which one you're in based off of what you're doing. There's also an audio stream player, which allows you to have different sounds being played whenever you're healing or attacking. This is our vampire. He has a vision, and the yellow one is his attack hurt box. He attacks pretty largely. He's an enemy state machine, which is basically very similar to the player one, except instead of being controlled by buttons, it is more random. He also has this where he can drop items at random, and it's so that you can use them to sell them in our game. It's very useful and it's pretty nice. So jumping to the priest, he is our NPC. He has this area that you have to be in to talk to him, and all these control nodes, all these green ones that allow you to interact with him and talk to him like he's an NPC.